Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
My name is Philani Joy, and we are here to interview you for the GSC course.
Okay.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Mr. Taiwo Onlalusi. I'm a lecturer in the Department of Performing and Film Arts.
Nice to meet you, sir. So we'll be going straight to the questions. Our first question is, can you briefly introduce the skill you teach and the importance to undergraduates?
Okay. The skill I teach is instrumentation and sound production. Initially, it was instrumentation alone. 1 year I just realized that they have added sound production. I wish it did not have it because instrumentation on its own is a lot of work, but there's no problem about that. We are coping with the instrumentation and sound production. So when it comes to instrumentation, it's just about teaching the basics of musical instruments. Okay, and that from the onset, I decided to streamline the musical instruments into 6. The keyboard, which is the mother of one instrument, the drum set, the talking drum, the lead guitar, trumpet, and saxophone. So these are the 6 instruments that the skill teaches. It teaches the basics, the rudimentary aspects. Because to learn an instrument perfectly, you need nothing less than 3 years of consistent practice. So just like I usually tell the students, what we do in the skill is not enough to make you an expert. So what it means is that after learning every day, you go ahead and continue to practice. So the importance of the skill, it is a skill that gives you the privilege to be an instrumentalist. So you understand? Once you begin to learn any of these instruments and you engage in some form of personal development, sooner one day you would be bold and proud to say, I play this instrument, I play that instrument. And at some point you can begin to make money from it.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. The next question is, what are the fundamental tools or resources needed to learn this instrument?
Well, okay, the fundamental tools, 1, you must have interest. You must have an interest in the instruments you want to learn. If you don't have interest, you're not going to stay long. You will get distracted, you will get discouraged, because truly it takes a lot to learn these instruments. It takes a lot. So interest, then 2, having that instrument. Like I used to tell my students, if you want to learn an instrument and you have it, you have done almost 50% of the work. Because when a teacher teaches you, you need to go home and be able to pick up your instrument and say, let me practice what my teacher has taught me. It is from there that you begin to, get some other things that even your teacher has not taught you. So I would say 2 basic things: interest and the instrument, having the instrument you want to learn.
Okay, sir. So the next question is, what common challenges do beginners or students face, and how do you help them to overcome those challenges?
Well, the first challenge is that they get discouraged, probably because of the difficulty they encounter in learning the instrument. And one thing about learning something, whether an instrument or anything at all, is that because you are not used to it, your first contact or first few contacts with it may prove to be more difficult than you can cope with. It's just like, for instance, when you start gymming today, your leg will start paining you as if, but if you stop at that moment, then the purpose of you going to the gym will not be actualized. Like when I started gym those days, my gym instructor would tell me, just keep coming. Don't bother using paracetamol, it doesn't need, just keep coming. So when students learn instrument for the first time, for the first few weeks, some of them begin to get discouraged because of the difficulty. For instance, when you are trying to learn the piano or letting the saxophone, your hands will be paining you. You know,
Yes.
your hands will be paining you, and you will feel that your growth is very slow. Whereas that's the process. That's the process. You need to take few, slow steps and improve gradually from that. And I usually tell them, I said, don't stop. Just keep at it. Your consistency will bail you out. Your consistency will always bail you out. Because if you learn an instrument, if I give you something to play for like 2 weeks, and you are consistent with it, before that 2 weeks, you will have perfected it. But the problem about some of our students is that they want to play today, they want to play that instrument today, leave it and come back next week. No, don't do that. Because as a musician, if you don't practice your instrument, it will leave you. So you must be consistent with it. So that's it.
So you mentioned earlier about the instrument that you have to like have the instrument. What of people that don't have the means to
Okay,
get
let me
instruments?
I want something that have the instrument or have access to it or have access. For instance, the student don't have to play keyboard. Let's say, for instance, that student is a Christian. He or she has a church that he attends, right?
Yes.
After church service, go and speak to your choir master or the music director. Sir, I'm trying to learn how to play the piano. Can I just take 30 minutes or 1 hour to play? I'm very sure that person will not turn you down because the person will also have an interest in you learning how to play the piano so that you can be useful for the church. So
Yes. Yes. Both of the other instruments like sax, trumpets.
you can have access to. There are so many. There are friends. You are likely to have friends who play one instrument or the other, or have friends who know somebody. So and we're in the social media age, just put it on your status. I need somebody who has a saxophone, or someone that can teach me saxophone. So you are likely to get, somebody who has that can borrow you. So
I just want to ask additional to it that I've had like experience with people that has like their own personal instruments and they really don't want to borrow other people at some point, especially like sax, trumpets,
well,
instruments.
I understand. For my students, I usually tell them if you want to practice, you can inform me. You come to the department and pick the instrument you practice. Even as that, the point you make, it is not everybody that will not give out the instrument. You who is looking for somebody, if somebody says, okay, I can't give my instrument, look for another person. Try hard to look for somebody. And when it comes to saxophone, once you have your own mouthpiece, it is easier for somebody to borrow you their saxophone. You just remove their mouthpiece, keep it one side, and put your mouthpiece. So the issue with saxophone is usually the mouthpiece, so that you don't, contact some diseases from the person. So once you have your own mouthpiece, I think any good and kind person can borrow you their instrument.
All right, sir. Moving on to the next question. In your experience, what separates a average learner from an exceptional one, and how can they start making money from this?
What separates an average learner from an exceptional one is their level of consistency. Level of consistency. When it comes to learning instrument, consistency is one of the most important aspects. Consistency. You have learned something today, pick it up tomorrow, play. Tomorrow, play. Oh yeah, move around, play. And just like one of our classes when I was asking the student that who is the best keyboardist in Nigeria, some people were saying this. I said, no, you are as good as your consistency. Because even somebody that I say is a good keyboardist, is the best keyboardist in Nigeria, will see somebody play and will be like, hey, so this one can play like this. So you understand? So you are as good as your level of consistency. You may feel you are better than me today. I can go back to the drawing board and next 6 months I come back and I'm better than you. So your level of consistency will differentiate you from somebody who is just learning and somebody who is, and you can collapse time. What are collapsing time in the sense that somebody who has been learning keyboard 3 years before you, it is possible that your consistency level matches up with that person, because it is possible for somebody who already feels the master of an instrument to feel a little bit complacent.
Yes.
By not, oh, I'll play tomorrow. I don't know this thing. I'll play tomorrow. But as somebody is, grinding every day, practicing every day. So you who started 3 years after, based on your consistency, you can even be better than this person that feels you already know this and the ball he has regularly.
Can you?
As I did, and you can hands on the skill, but there is a journey of learning the instrument first. There's a journey of learning the instrument first. So you understand? It is when you learn over time that you can now begin to say, okay, let me begin to look for shapes, for gigs, where they can pay me. So you understand?
Yes.
You cannot be half baked and want to make money because you will be exposed. There are songs that they will sing and not be able to play to. There are keys that they will sing on and not be able to play to. So you need to sort that out in the process of learning in such a way that when they say, I need a keyboardist for a wedding show, a wedding reception, you know that there's no song that they will sing that you're not be able to play. There's no key that they will sing on that you're not be able to play. So it's when you get to that level that you can now say, okay, I want to begin to earn from it.
For someone that is a pro, can you give a range of how much person can make like within a month?
Well, it depends. For instance, now, if you're a very good keyboardist, there is no week, or I would say there's probably no day that it's not possible for you to get a show. I know instrumentalists that almost every day they go for one concert, one show or the other. So you understand? So depending on the band you're playing for and depending on the amount you charge, for instance now, it is possible for a very good keyboardist to earn 15,000-20,000 naira per show.
Well,
Let's say you have 10 shows in the month and you earn 20,000 naira, that's how much? 200,000. So you understand? So there's no, it varies depending on the band and the amount they charge. So it varies.
okay, sir. Moving on to the next question. What are the top industries or sectors where this skill is in high demand in Nigeria and also globally too?
Entertainment industry. When it comes to entertainment, especially in Nigeria, we love entertainment a lot.
Yeah.
We do birthdays, we do weddings, we do burial, even housewarming, graduation, all these things.
Yes, sir.
We do entertainment, and it is usually very regular. So you understand? There's virtually no day that people don't give back. There's virtually no weekend that we don't get to see weddings or probably burials. So you understand? And apart from that, there's also another aspect of music production, talent on shows, concerts, all these comedy shows, concerts where they need instrumentalists or musicians. So that's another aspect, that comes with that.
Thank you so much, sir, for your answer. We'll be going on to the next question now. Are there opportunities for students to freelance or work remotely or internationally with this thing?
Yes, yes. Now, most instrumentalists that I know are freelance because at some point when you are dedicated to a band, or let me just say, they may be dedicated to a band, right? And get shows or accept shows from other bands. The reason is because it is possible for the band that are playing for not to have shows in, let's say, 2 weeks consecutive. So while your band is not having a show, you can get other shows from other people. So you understand? And there's some people that are dedicated to a band and they get higher shows that will pay them higher, than their band. So most instrumentalists will have a band that they're dedicated to and also have an opportunity to choose whichever band they play for, depending on the amount that comes in. So I think this started with 21st century. Back in the days, there's usually more of a loyalty to bands, but we are getting to the period where, the bands are getting paid much more than each other. For instance, now, if Lolly Bedo calls an instrumentalist, that instrumentalist is likely to go.
Yes.
Because he knows that he's a popular musician and he charges much. I'm not sure. There's any instrumentalist on that who will do that will not get as much as 50,000 per show.
Wow.
I am not sure. Because from what I heard, I think he has nothing less than 5 million per show collects. So if we have a 10-man band and the show is 5 million.
That's 500,000
for 10 people,
yes.
And you as a band leader, and some of them even do much more. So it depends on the level of the band. So you understand? So
what are the ways where how students can showcase themselves and also sell themselves out?
Okay.
What platform?
Okay. Now, thank God we are in the age of social media. Back in the days, you are not likely to be able to showcase yourself except to go for shows, go for concerts, go for gigs. But now, the social media space has afforded anybody the opportunity to showcase themselves. You can play your instrument, record yourself, post it on your Facebook, your Twitter, your TikTok, and you begin to get likes, you begin to get followers, and from there people will begin to know you. Let me give you an instance. There's this lady that used to sing on TikTok. I've forgotten her name, but she has a little bit bent mouth like this. I've forgotten her name. She used to sing and post on TikTok, on social media. Before you know it, collaborations with popular musicians started coming. She collaborated with Big U, collaborated with David Jones, and from there, they started calling her. For shows because she started posting herself. Very good voice, very good vibrato like that. She will just be singing and be recording. She's a worshiper. And now she's already been called everywhere. I think she has traveled abroad a few times, So that's an example of how an instrumentalist or a musician or a singer can showcase it to herself. The social media is enough of a platform, depending on the number of followers, the number of likes that you have.
Thank you, Sam. What's the advanced aspect of this skill you encourage people to learn for future?
Just like I said at the beginning, because of the duration of the course, it is not possible for the skill to teach you everything about the instrument. So for you who is aspiring to be an instrumentalist, after GS 301, you should register and go for advanced classes where you will consistently be taught, on the fundamentals, the intermediate level of the instrument. So you understand? So we learn every day. Even we were our lecturers, we still go for courses, we go for conferences. So you understand?
Yes.
We can't say because we are lecturers, we'll now sit down, at the spot. So aspiring musicians and instrumentalists need to go for courses, or go on YouTube and download materials and courses on the internet that they can use to self-teach themselves. Because when you know the basics, it is easier for you to get material online and teach yourself, improve on yourself. So that's one of the go for courses or go online. YouTube is there to give you any video, any material, any resources that you need.
Thank you so much. So what final advice will you give to students, who are learning this skill to monetize it and become a pro at it?
Yes, I would advise students to learn, go through the process of learning, and get to a point where they can say, yes, I can play this instrument satisfactorily. Then they can now begin to think of how do I begin to make money? How do I begin to make money? Social media pays now. When you post on YouTube, there's an amount of um, likes or videos or amount of people watch your video that you'll be paid. And you can begin, to seek for, to join the band, to play for, like I'll be earning every day or every weekend as the shows come, So right now, I know instrumentalists that every Saturday they are booked. Students who are instrumentalists, that's all they use, that's all they feed on. One of our students who graduated last year, Bolaji, is a talking drummer. Apparently, he's one of my instructors for GS. He's a talking drummer. Bolaji does not expect anything from home. Yes, if it comes, fine. Except, project money that is huge. But when it comes to sorting themselves, when it comes to feeding everything, the skill gives them that because there is no weekend. In fact, some weekdays, and it doesn't earn less than 10,000. Yes, for sure. So if you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if you have shows Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you earn 30,000, except you are how do I put it? You are an overspender. 30,000 is enough for you to feed for a week.
Yeah.
So you understand?
Yes, sir.
So that's one of the ways. Social media and getting yourself to play for a band to earn money.
Thank you very much, sir. We have come to the end of the interview.
You're welcome.
God bless you, sir.
God bless it.